Listen, this is Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers isn't there for free. He's being paid. And he's being very civil about this, and he doesn't need to be. Listen, if this is a problem, he should be speaking up. He shouldn't be, I try not to concern myself with that. I just look forward to next year. He should be like, I want to be a starter. I deserve to be a starter. Either start me here or trade me. Speak up. Be a man. I mean, come on. You're not gonna get a bad rap for that. No way. I don't think so. At least not with me. So if I'm the Packers, I'm saying, Brett, you want to come back? Terrific. Your locker's ready. Here's your uni. Listen, it's not like, he hasn't been here for the entire offseason in the mini camps. Dude, Brett Favre does not need to learn the Packers system. All right? It doesn't matter how much time he misses. If Brett Favre decides in week 4 he wants to come back and the Packers are 4-0, and he decides week 4 he wants to come back and start week 5, let him. I mean, you have to let him. That's Brett Favre. You hold on to him as long as you can. I mean, what do they say? This guy led you to the NFC Championship game last year. He led one of the most productive offenses in the entire league. All right? And P.S., it was the youngest team in the league, even with Favre there. So now all these young guys are another year older, another year more experience. And if you bring back their leader from last season, you don't think you can equal the success you had last year, if not surpass it? I don't understand this. I don't understand the problem. Dude, it's not like Rich Gannon wants to come back and Oakland doesn't know if they should start him over Jamarcus Russell. This is Favre. All right, this is, if you make a list of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time, he's on everybody's list. It's unanimous. I mean, he is that good. And look at how he performed last season. I would understand if there was some sort of big drop-off, last year. But there wasn't. He actually got better. He had, his most productive year since the Packers were winning, the Super Bowl and going to the Super Bowl back in the 90s. He's had his most productive year since his MVP seasons. And there's a question about it. Well, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers may be the better option. Dude, go with Aaron Rodgers then. And what's the problem with letting Brett go to Minnesota if you don't want him? I mean, if he's washed up and not good anymore, wouldn't you want him to be on an inter-division team? Or wouldn't you want him to be on a team you play twice a year if he can't get it done anymore? I mean, the Packers have said, we will not trade you. You can't talk to anyone. They're basically saying, if you want to come out of retirement, the only way you can do it is to come sit on our bench. And somehow Brett Favre is the bad guy? I don't understand. Is this how life works? Because to me that's bogus. To me that's absolutely bogus. Brett Favre says, hey, I want to come back. And the Packers obviously should just say, okay, you're our starter. We're going with Brett Favre. He wants to come back. There you go. But instead they're like, well, I don't know, Brett. I mean, I guess you can come back, but we're not promising anything. You have to come and try out and earn that spot. And Brett says, well, I don't really feel welcome. Why don't you let me go so I can talk to other people? No, says Green Bay. That's not going to work. We don't want you on another team beating us. Well, listen, if he's that good, you're scared to play against him, why don't you want him on your own team? Right? If he's so good you're scared to play against him, wouldn't you want him under center for your team? That doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense to me. You're not good enough to start for us, but you're too good to start for them. What? Yeah, we're going with Aaron Rodgers. He's played a game. Huh? Come on. Get smart. Here's me. I lay sod for a living and do a part-time radio show. I have absolutely no credentials. I've never owned a major franchise. I'm a pretty successful GM of a couple fantasy football teams, but I can see that this is absolutely idiotic. Why am I alone? I saw everybody I talked to, Brett just needs to hang him up. He shouldn't be doing this to the panel, holding everybody hostage. Everybody's acting like the Packers would have to hit the reset button and start from scratch if Favre comes back. Dude, he's been the quarterback for like 20 years. This would be the most comfortable setting possible, is Brett Favre coming back. It would be the easiest possible transition from last year to this year would be with the same quarterback. It's going to be harder to plug in Aaron Rodgers and have everybody get a feel for them than it would be to bring Brett. It just doesn't. I don't understand. And they would rather pay him $12 million this season to sit on their bench than let him go somewhere else. Yeah, totally makes sense, Green Bay. A bunch of douches. I'm so glad I live in Illinois and not Wisconsin. I'm so glad. I mean, geniuses. I don't get it. Listen, if Aaron Rodgers comes out this year, all right, Pro Bowl year, leads the Packers to the Super Bowl, I mean, fine, I was wrong. I don't know. I'll give you all $100. Everyone listening to this gets $100 if the Packers go to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. How's that? That's how confident I am. I mean, there's just no way. It only makes sense to bring back Favre, let him do his thing. Or, you don't think he's any good anymore? He can't cut it for your team? Yeah, Brett Favre's good, but he's no Aaron Rodgers? Let him go. Why do you want to pay him $12 million a year? Favre needs to call their bluff. If I'm Brett Favre, I show up. Say, all right, I'm here. Give me my 12 mil. Give me my clipboard. You stand here on the sideline. You pay me. And then wait a couple games for Aaron Rodgers to go down with an injury, because I don't think he's ever even played a pro game that he hasn't been injured in. And then he'll be the starter anyway. You know, and I'm sorry, I know you guys have been hearing Brett Favre stuff nonstop for the last 2 weeks, and it's been driving me crazy too, because like I said before, not a lot going on right now in the world of sports. So when something like this happens, it's a huge deal and everybody jumps on it, including me, apparently. But I haven't got to weigh in on this. I didn't do a show last week. I haven't got to weigh in for like 2 weeks on these things. So this has been just building up inside of me, and every time I turn on the radio, there's somebody else. I think with the exception of, who was it? Maybe Andy Gresh on ESPN Radio is on my side here. But he's annoying too. I just don't understand. I know Elwood thinks Favre is so old. Elwood in the chat room likes to take shots at Favre. He's so old. But come on, man. All honesty, Favre can still get it done. He really can. And I think Aaron Rodgers will be fine. I think he'll be a good quarterback. I do. He seems okay. He's been in the system a while. If you're going to learn from anybody, might as well be Brett. But I think